It is, according to this year's Global 500 rankings, the world's most powerful company, knocking Walt Disney off its perch just last month. Today, Lego announced its revenues hit a record high of £4.4 billion last year, up 6% on 2015. And with franchises like the Lego Batman movie, which in just 4 weeks has made $150 million in the US and £25 million here in the UK, there's every chance of building on that success this year. Well, Bali Padda became the first non-Danish chief executive in Lego's 85-year history when he took over at the beginning of the year, and he joins us now from the group's headquarters in the Danish town of Billund. So, Mr. Padda, good evening to you. You've announced record sales, but annual growth at 6% was the slowest since 2007. Is the brand losing momentum at all?
Absolutely. For us, if we look at the sales that we've had up until 2015, we call it supernatural. I don't think any company can maintain it for over a decade. So where we are now, I believe, is more sustainable. And this is where we can also look forward to getting the product in the hands of a lot more children around the world.
In the United States, sales were flat. I think that will come as a surprise to some people, given the success of the Lego Batman movie.
The Batman movie has only just released beginning of February. So looking at where we ended up in 2016 in States, yes, it was flat. But if I go back to 2015, it was a record year. And continuing to build on such a big base is something that we find a bit challenging. This is the nut we have to crack as we go forward.
You've announced a big investment in your factory in Monterrey in Mexico recently. Yeah. Has that had any impact on American sales, given the anti-Mexican rhetoric from President Trump, do you think?
No, we don't see that. And at the moment, it's rhetoric, it's speculation. So we just have to see what happens, where we land, and then we take it from there.
How about here in the UK? Obviously, you opened the big Lego store in Leicester Square recently. Yeah. My wife and kids went there. They had to queue for about 20 minutes to get in there. Is that living up to your expectations?
Yes, it is. I've been there quite a few times, and I can understand what you're saying about the queues. We're trying to do everything we can to reduce them, but it's definitely living up to our expectations. It's a great store. It's a great experience. You immerse yourself in what Lego is all about when you go in that store.
Now, you raised your wholesale prices at the beginning of the year by 5%, the amount that you charge retailers to stock you. What sort of evidence have you got? Are they passing that on, or are they absorbing the hit themselves? And was that enough to make up for you for the loss in sterling because of the fall in the pound?
In terms of passing it on, whatever, that's up to the retailer. We made a judgment call as to what was happening with the pound and what we had to adjust by, and we made the adjustment from January.
Right, and was that enough to make up for you any loss of revenue due to the fall in the pound?
Who knows exactly where we're going to land? It's just sort of 6-7 weeks of sales so far, but that was the estimate that we had to do this to remain even.
Now, one of the other big commitments that the company's made, prior to you becoming CEO, was that you would be making fully sustainable plastic by 2030. You'd be using sustainable plastic by 2030. That's quite a long lead time. Is there any opportunity to bring that in and bring that deadline forward a bit?
It is a long lead time because we're trying to invent new materials that do not exist today. If those materials existed, we would go for it. We had announced an investment of 1 billion Danish krone in 2015. And today we have 70 very dedicated and talented people working on this continuously. And in the press conference earlier, I shared some prototypes of what we are finding. So we're on a good path. We've set ourselves a target of 2030 to be both out of the product and also the packaging materials that we put our product into. So it's a long journey for us. We have to invent new materials, and it will take time, unfortunately.
I've got to ask you, what's it like being the first non-Danish chief of Lego? Does that put a lot of additional pressure on you?
No, I've been with the company 14 years, and in the time I've been in the company, I think I've spent more time in Denmark than I've done in the UK. To me, it's about running a company, understanding what the ethos of the company is. It's about the children. We talk about inspire and develop the builders of tomorrow. How do we continue to do that? And whether you're Dane or non-Dane,